So where do you think we are, Adam, in terms of value that robots can deliver right now?
So I think, I mean, just based on the experience we've had in the last couple of years, it feels like there's a huge gap between the robots themselves and the value that's actually gained from them. And that gap, to fill that gap is a lot of freaking work, is what we're finding, right? I mean, the robots, when they show up to your site, are not out of the box ready to start doing everything you want it to do, if any of it, right? And it gets back to this app piece is they don't have the apps for the applications that you want. And that's what we're finding in BP. And one of the reasons we took the approach we took, it was to put our own resources on this to really understand what it's going to take to bring all this together. Anything as simple as, and I say simple, it's again, not simple, but anything as simple as simple as, you know, let's say I've got 5 robots. How do I manage those 5 robots? Is there a common software that I could manage all of them, right? Because as a user of these, I'm going to have to be trained, have trained people to be able to maintain, to operate these robots. You know, what about, you know, so as a little more clarity or definition of that gap, I think there are a lot of those. This kind of gets back to this Lego analogy. I think all the Legos exist. There are computer vision algorithms out there. There are companies that will provide them for you. Many companies can do them with internal resources. Those Lego blocks themselves add no value. I have to then apply it to a robot. And, you know, there's lots of questions that still need to be asked in regards to that. About how do I apply it? Do I put it on the robot? Do I put it in the cloud? Do I put it on my local server? What's the bandwidth needs? And those are the things that we're trying to figure out now, right? And we've got, I mean, BP's a big company. We've got a lot of resources to do this. And so we're able to figure out, you know, what needs to happen in order to be able to take this robot and put it on my site and it's off doing what it needs to do, right? I mean, right now, many of the robots, you know, can learn an autonomous route, whether it be learning itself after you walk it, or show it, or, you know, putting a line down to do it. But if I've got a 3D twin of my facility, how do I get it to actually, you know, me be able to push a button and say, go to that compressor, and how, you know, in order to get it to know where that is before it's even walked it, right? Stepping onto the facility and adding value immediately. When you start thinking about scaling these up, those are the things that need to be looked at and thought about. And I haven't seen necessarily anything in the market at this point that doesn't hit maybe a few of those blocks, but it's still on us to actually bring them all together. Well, a lot of these smaller operators don't have teams, and a lot of these, you know, not just oil and gas operators, but even, you know, in downstream or other industrial sites, they don't have the resources to be able to bring all that together. So I do see that is a gap that needs to be filled somewhere to basically make these robots, when they do, but, you know, on their way to the site, can kind of get that download and are now smart and can actually go and go on missions.